game by game analysis, man. Yo, thank y'all so much for jumping into the sweatshop where I'm your host, the DFS Gurus, and we are now live in the Facebook VIP with the fam. Shout out to the fam. Thank y'all for being here. We are also live on YouTube and we are live on Twitter. Gun, if you're doing your live stream now, I'm sorry. I hope I don't interrupt you. I hope you're at the tail end of yours and everybody can come in and step into mine. Because that's how they do with the big sites. They have different shows and they roll. And I hope that we all should set up to where we can do our live streams at certain times where we won't run into each other so that everybody can get some real shit. And I have to go to that bullshit over there on the other sites, man. Shout out also to Fantasy Phenom. I hope they're probably doing their midday stuff around the same time as well. So that's how we rocking, man. This is one unit. We are on YouTube, Twitter, as well as here in the Facebook VIP. We're going to jump into some game-by-game analysis, and I know we've got a lot of cats that play FanDuel as well as DraftKings and Yahoo, so ask questions. It doesn't matter. Anything you want to ask, we can get it in. I just went over my core 4 plays, and a lot of it was based on some of that perfect lineup research that you've been hearing a lot about. I talked about that with the guys in the VIP. If you wanted to get those, go hit up the website at www.dfssweatshop.com. Shout out to everybody on Twitter and on YouTube. All right, so let's go ahead, man, and jump right into it, man. And first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna okay, cool, yeah. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Bring up the games. First game on the slate. This is the DraftKings main slate that kicks off at 7 p.m. We've got the Milwaukee Bucks and the Charlotte Hornets. This is a game that I should be at. I love to watch the homie Giannis Antetokounmpo play. He's one of my favorite players. He's a point guard, shooting guard, small forward, does it all. I think he's in a very solid spot tonight against the Charlotte Hornets. It is a 198.5 point total. That's a very, very, very good point total when you talk about rostering the studs. Because of one thing that our research has shown us, in a low point total doesn't mean you should shy away from the game. All that means is that the points themselves are going to be condensed to the guys that mean the most to the team. The higher the usage, the lower the score, the more exposure we should get to that guy with the high usage. And without Chris Middleton, because we know right now that Middleton is a game time decision. Just had a concern come up about Giannis Antetokounmpo and his home and away splits. I dig that. I can dig that. But we're in a situation today where I feel like who else is going to do it? Outside of Giannis Antetokounmpo, you might have some Greg Monroe, who also comes into play for me. Even take a look at Tony Snell too, because the dude is cheap as shit at 3.9K. He's not a great player, but I mean, if you need a salary saver, he can definitely be there, especially without Chris Middleton. That means his minutes are going to go up. Christopher Michael Hawkins brings up Malcolm Brogdon, also a player that I think you can look to at 5.1. What's up out there in Toronto, man? Good to see you, big homie. On the other side of the ball, this is the Charlotte Hornets. They are going to give up 5 points. Ooh, Tom Sands just brought up Mirza Teletovic. I like that. Let me highlight him. That's a very, very solid play. Very solid play. Galen, what's up, Galen? I'm trying to unite the side, bro. And I'm sorry to get off track, because what is going on is all of the YouTube sites and all of us that have our own little shows and clicks, a lot of times we end up bickering with each other about certain shit. While we do that, people don't want to log in and subscribe to us to hear us bicker and act like little bitches. They would rather go to Roto Grinders, where they know they can get great information. So if we work together as a team on YouTube and make sure that we bring solid information and chopping it up in a solid way, with respect and admiration for each other, maybe we could get more people to listen to us and for us to work together. Solidarity, baby. That's how we do it, because those are the ones that are taking it from us. Those are the ones. But we can share it each other. So shout out to Fantasy Phenom. Shout out to the homie that do the lineups out of Baltimore, out of Maryland. Vaughn. Shout out to Vaughn. Shout out to Cam ETL. Shout out to the homie Gundecker. Shout out to Money Mike and Kyle. Everybody, let's do it. So, all right. So here we go. Now, Charlotte Hornets, Kemba Walker. You know I love Kemba at home. I am not particularly as high on him as I have been in previous matchups, but I don't think that anybody can just guard him straight up. And he has been shooting the deep three-point shot very well over the last few games. If we take a look at Kemba in the last 3 games, what he's been able to do, I think it's going to surprise you, man. 53, 44, and 36 DraftKings points over the last 3 games. One was a dream matchup against the Phoenix Suns, which should make you look at Dennis Schroeder a little bit more today. He was priced up at 8.3. Dennis Schroeder is 7.8, I believe, in the very same matchup. Against Cleveland, he had 44 DraftKings points, and Orlando 36, which is pretty much a tough matchup for the point guards. I do like Kemba today. Think that he can do a good job at making value. Will I have a ton of them? Probably not. But just because he's at home and he shoots the ball so well, I definitely think that I'm going to be taking advantage of Kemba Walker in his matchup. I'm going to tell you some fool's gold, man. And this is a guy that I don't like very much, and I usually do. I'm not as high on Nicholas Batum as I have been in the past. I just, if Chris Middleton isn't there, that means I think the coverage, Tony Snell, which is a solid perimeter defender, I think that coverage shifts over to Nick Batum and makes it a little bit easier. Now on FanDuel, I like Nick Batum is at 6.7. That's cool on FanDuel. Anytime a player is priced cheaper on FanDuel than they are on DraftKings because of the price discrepancy, it always makes him a considerable play on FanDuel. If you compare sites, FanDuel and DraftKings, if you got players on FanDuel that are cheaper, case in point, like Terrence Ross yesterday, he was 4.2 on FanDuel, 5K on DraftKings. He was a solid play on FanDuel, but he was a more riskier play on DraftKings. So that point being made, I do think you can get away with some Nick Batum at 6.7K on FanDuel, just to clear that up for all my FanDuel players. Marvin Williams at 6.1. You know I've been mad with Marvin Williams lately. I couldn't get the motherfucker right when he wanted to go ham, and I just don't think that I'm going to be taking a shot at him. Cody Zeller was somebody that I loved a lot earlier. Looked into a little bit of research, man. Probably going to be matched up in the beginning against Thon Maker. I think he wins that first quarter. I think he wins that first quarter matchup and puts up enough points to where if he doesn't do a ton in the second half, he's still going to be there to make value. So I don't have an issue with rostering Cody Zeller at all. Also, MKG is a guy that jumps off of the page for me. This guy is probably going to be tasked a lot of the time. What's up, Corey Green? He's going to be tasked a lot of the time with guarding Giannis. And I think that just keeps him on the floor. Him, MKG, Frank Kaminsky, Marco Bellinelli, and Jeremy Lamb are all guys that see a lot of run either first or second team. Those are the guys that are kind of the bridge between the best players on the team and the shittiest players on the team. So all of those guys deserve some consideration. Of course, it's a 101.8 point total. So I would say if you got to roster anybody in this game, target the guy you think is going to get the most minutes and the most usage, whether it's on the front court or in the back court. Next game we're going to talk about is, I'm so excited to do this shit today. I love this shit, bro. This is my shit. I love this. I'm so glad I do this all the time. All right, so next game we're talking about is the Minnesota Timberwolves going to Indiana to take on the Pacers. Let's be clear about it. The Indiana Pacers are playing for playoff positioning. Just got a question about Taurean Prince. Yes, I like him on DraftKings at 4.8. I don't have an issue with him at all. We know we're not going to be seeing any Thabo Cephalosha. That's cool. But he's going to be extremely chalky. We're going to get to that when we jump into the Atlanta game. That's the next game on tap. Right here we're in Minnesota, where the big three is automatically rosterable, man. The big young three of Karl Anthony Towns, Rick Rubio, and Andrew Wiggins. Remember, Karl Anthony Towns is probably the top-rated center as far as those perfect lineup studies are going. The only thing is he's priced up, bro. 10.1. Ricky Rubio 7.4. The matchup isn't as good as a lot of us think because point guards have recently been limited a lot by the Indiana Pacers. But it's Ricky Rubio, and it's hard to not like Ricky Rubio if you like Karl Anthony Towns because those guys correlate so well together. I chose to rock with Andrew Wiggins in most of my lineups, but I will have some Karl Anthony Towns as well as Ricky Rubio. Chris Dunn is a play that a lot of people are talking about. I'm telling you, a lot of people are talking about Chris Dunn as a play. And at 3.3K, if he's going to be that guy that steps in immediately, be that sixth man off of the bench, he's been taking minutes from Shabazz Muhammad over the last few games. I think you can definitely look at him. If you want to get a big exposure, a fair exposure amount to the to some of the studs as far as Harden, I think that's the place that you could go to get some of that salary savings. Keep the questions coming. I'm going to answer those. You feel like Dunn's going to get minutes? I feel that way too, because right now the Minnesota Timberwolves players, they're playing for pride, and I don't think they're going to lay down. but they also want to see what they have in some of these younger guys. So I think that is why we've been seeing an uptick in minutes for Chris Dunn. They don't really like Shabazz Muhammad, as Kitty Shave just pointed out. They don't really like Shabazz Muhammad too much. What do I think about Tim Hardaway Jr.? We're going to get into that in just a moment. He is in a very solid matchup as far as the perfect lineup studies go against the Phoenix Suns, talking about Tim Hardaway Jr., but the guy across from him is an even better one, and I'm talking about Devin Booker. We're going to get to that in just a moment. On the Indiana side, Paul George has been playing lights out of his mind over the last few games. Checking out some of his fantasy game logs. 34 against Philadelphia, not too great. 51 against Denver, 54 against Boston, 44 against Utah. Those were the last 4 games. Of course, that one game against Philadelphia, that was against Robert Covington, who is probably, one of the best wing defenders we do have in today's NBA. So I think you can throw that out the window. If you do want to pay up that 8.4 for him, I don't have an issue there. I was tossing in the core 4 between, Brook Lopez is going to be chalk. I agree. Point total, team total. Oh, for the Minnesota, the point total is 208.5. That's a complete point total. Minnesota team total is 102.5. So that means roster the guys is going to get the highest usage. The Pacers, the point total is 106. Same thing. Roster the guys that'll get the highest usage. What do I think about the Phoenix Bigs? I think they all suck. And the only one that I would roster is probably Allen Williams off of the bench, because he's not going to be matched up a ton with Dwight Howard. All right, so we got on the Indiana side, Paul George, yes, and I tossed and turned a lot about Paul George and rostering either Paul George in my core 4 or Wiggins. I do like Paul George tonight. I think he's a very solid play. Jeff Teague is going to be a play that I do like, because that we're not going to be seeing a great defense from Ricky Rubio. It's going to be a fast-paced, high up-tempo game. I've got no issue with rostering Jeff Teague in this spot. I like him. Miles Turner, man. What do we think about Miles Turner? Give me some feedback on Miles Turner, because when he was under 6K, it was hard to find a slate that I didn't love him. But now, that motherfucker priced up to 6.7. And in order to get the game that we need to see from Miles Turner, he's going to have a big fantasy production. Hasn't been shooting the ball particularly well lately. I think Miles Turner could be a trap. I really do. I think Miles Turner could be a trap. I think, I've got him slated to score around 33 DraftKings points. That's not enough. He's in a dream matchup. But man, 6.7 is a lot to get up for a guy like that. When you can look at Brolo, who's in what we know is a dope matchup at 6.9, which is just 200 more. So I'm not completely sold on rostering Miles Turner today. I think he's a trap, definitely. Monte Ellis has been receiving a ton of consideration lately. We know we're not going to be seeing Rodney Stuckey. Well, he's a game-time decision. They have since put C.J. Miles' sorry ass back on the bench. That means more minutes and increase for Monte Ellis. Has been playing pretty well lately. Priced down to 4.6. I got the projection on him about 20. I think that is definitely a kind of a tournament punt play. In my opinion. I'm not going to have a ton of Monte Ellis. Aaron Brooks at 3K is also a play that you may be able to look at. What about Aaron Brooks? Keep in mind, they play Deng a lot at the 4. Cool. And back to Minnesota. Gorgie Jang, 5.5K. In my opinion, in the games that I've seen, the guy that correlates the most with... go back and check out some game logs. The guy that correlates the most with Ricky Rubio, when I love Ricky Rubio, I automatically play Gorgie Jang. Now, I'm not as in love with Ricky Rubio as I have been in previous games, which is why I'm not so much on Gorgie Jang. I think the bulk of the scoring comes from Towns Wiggins, not Rubio Jang. But I don't have a problem with them at all if you want to get him into your roster builds. That would be about it for us. Except we do have injury news for Indiana. We've got Al Jefferson is out and Glenn Robinson is out. Now, Stuckey and Robinson, Stuckey being a game-time decision and Robinson being out, that is going to increase minutes for Monte Ellis. It's going to increase minutes for Aaron Brooks at 3K. It's going to increase minutes. I think C.J. Miles is going to get the short end of the stick. We're going to see a lot of Ellis and a lot of Aaron Brooks. Wiggins has the best matchup on paper. I agree. I love him. That's my dude. That's my dude. LaVoy Allen. See now, and see with a play like that, because if you don't like Miles Turner but you want to get a piece of this DVP, you can rock with LaVoy Allen. Kevin Seraphin could be somebody that you could fuck with, man. But the minutes have been so far down for those guys. Even with Al Jefferson out, we haven't seen huge minutes for either of those bigs. I think they just play a lot of Thaddeus Young and just let him go out there and fuck up and stand around with a bad back. So, and then we see Paul George doing a lot of heavy lifting as far as rebounding. So I don't know if I can get there when it comes to paying down that much. What's up, Cleveland Pettigrew, big homie? So next game we're gonna talk about is the Phoenix Suns going to Atlanta. This, a lot of cats are talking about stacking in this game, man. This is a cheap way to stack, and while I do agree with that, but Tyler Ulis at 6.9 on DraftKings, that is a lot to get up for. Especially when it comes to the perfect lineup strategy that really hit us up with. Ulis is in a good spot at 6.9K. The only problem is I love him on FanDuel at 6K flat. Anytime you get a dude that's cheaper, bro, on FanDuel than they are on DraftKings, give him some consideration. And just because of that discrepancy, I would definitely play Ulis on FanDuel and kind of hedge my bets with an all-out fade on DraftKings. So I'm not going to be fucking with him on DraftKings, but I will have some Ulis on FanDuel. Devin Booker is a play that I absolutely love. 7.4K in a very, very plus matchup against Tim Hardaway Jr., who has not been known for being a stellar defender. I think we can definitely look to him in this spot. This dude is confident. He's swaggy. He is ready to jack up a bunch of shots. I think this game does have a very high pace. 221.5 is the point total, with the Suns projected to score 106.8. That's a very nice point team total for them. On the Atlanta side, it's 114, which means I don't have to just stay locked into the studs on the Atlanta side. If you want to call those guys studs, means I can fuck with some of the helpers. I think Devin Booker and Tim Hardaway Jr. will be definitely solid plays on opposite sides of the ball to correlate together. I do like the spot that Dennis Schroeder is in. He is in the very best matchup. As far as point guards go. He's just priced up a little bit more than some of the other guys that are cheaper that I do like. Dwight Howard is in one of the best matchups on the slate as far as centers go. Only thing is, his floor ceiling is so tight. Like, Dwight Howard should legit be having 50, 60, 70 Rudy Gobert type games. But the dude is big and fucking lazy. And then you couple that with the fact that they don't like to give him the ball. How many times have you seen the Hawks come down and chuck up a three for no reason while Dwight is standing in the post with his hand on the guy and his back to the basket, a hand up, ready to turn and dunk? You rarely see them involve him in the offense. That's what makes it very hard. His laziness and them not wanting to incorporate him into offense, especially once the transition is over, the transition phase is over, and they're in a half-court offense, they still don't like to give him the ball. That makes it hard for me. It does make it hard for me to roster him. Ersan Ilyasova in a very solid spot. I'm telling you, to the power forward position, the Suns give it up. And now that I keep talking about this, man, I can definitely see a Phoenix ATL stack with a sprinkle of James Harden. Maybe if you're feeling like you want to get a piece of that Golden State side, going Draymond Green, because he is in a superb matchup as it applies to the power forward position when we talk about those perfect lineups. Warren over Booker for you. I can dig it. Warren is in a solid spot as well. This game is stackable as fuck, bro. On the Phoenix bench, Allen Williams will be probably as far as I go. No Jared Dudley. He's at 3.8K. Jared Dudley at 3K, I didn't have a problem with him. But 3.8, no, I'm not fucking with that. Leandro Barbosa, game time decision. Ronnie Price, game time decision. We know Bledsoe, Brandon Wright, and Dragon Bender are out. They don't even have fucking your boy on the roster sheet right now. Tyson Chandler. I can't even see Tyson Chandler. I can't even see him. I'm a Hawks fan. Understand what you're saying, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you for your understanding, man. All right, back to the Atlanta side. How far do we go on the Atlanta bench? I think the Bucks stop because Millsap, Tabo, and Bazemore are out. I think the Bucks stops for me at about Malcolm Delaney. I think that's as far as I go. Malcolm Delaney at 3K could be a play that interests me. I do like Taurean Prince on both sides. He's still fairly cheap. Going to see a ton of minutes. I like Tim Hardaway Jr. We talked about him already. as well as Dennis Schroeder in some spots. I'm just not going to play Dwight Howard. I'm not. I'd rather play Ersan Ilyasova. I'm not going to play him. I'm not. Next game we're going to talk about is the Philadelphia 76ers going to Brooklyn to take on the Nets. Let me tell you something. Some of the most surprising games this year when it comes to competitive nature and guys playing the complete whistle have been involving Philadelphia and Brooklyn all year long, even when they were in spots where they had nothing to play for. Both of these teams are shit and are headed to the lottery, but man, we've seen some of the best basketball this season come from Philadelphia games and Brooklyn Nets games. We just have. Now this game is going to be in Brooklyn. It is a 225.5 point total. On the Philadelphia side, it's 111.3. That means we don't have to just run straight to the best player on Philadelphia. We can kind of look around and see who's going to be helping those guys. Also, same like the drum. Show Howard some love, baby. On the Brooklyn side, it's 114.3 point total. That's a very high point total. That means we don't have to just roster, Brook Lopez and be done with it. We can actually look around to some of the helpers. Those guys are fairly cheap. The spread is 3. So the Brooklyn Nets are the home favorite, giving up 3 points to the Philadelphia 76ers. Automatically, guys that jump on the page for me. I like Dario Saric in the spot that he's in. I like Robert Covington in the spot that he is in. Rashawn Holmes, if he does get the start, is probably a decent play at 6.3. He's priced up just a little bit too much for him, but I just don't like it. And I like the fact that Covington is priced down. 6.8, give me some of that. I like Covington. You already know how I feel about TJ McConnell. He's one of my favorite point guard plays on the slate at 5.5. We know that we've got a game time decision on Sergio Rodriguez. Okafor out, Henderson out, Bayless out, Splitter game time decision. Ben Simmons, of course, has been out. I'm gonna tell you how many cats are available to play for the Philadelphia 76ers right now. This is how many cats are available to play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They've got 8 fucking bodies. They got 8 bodies, bro. 8. So Sauce is in play. Justin Anderson with his sorry ass, he in play. Sean Long, of course, is in play. He's projected at 24 DraftKings points at 4.2K. Yo, you can stack the shit out of Philadelphia and still pay up and grab the guys you want from those bigger games. Take a look at them cats, man. Take a look at them cats. Take a look. All right, on the Brooklyn side, the only injury concern we do have is going to be Sean Kilpatrick. He's a game time decision. These guys could come in fully ready, fully healthy. Shout out to Philly. My boys remember guards kill us too. That's right. So we're looking at Jeremy Lin at 5.9, priced up a bit. I think in this matchup, I would just take, if Sergio Rodriguez is out, I would just take TJ McConnell. Oh, okay. Kilpatrick has been upgraded to probable, y'all. He's probable now. Dinwiddie, with all these guys healthy, man, in the Brooklyn backcourt, they kind of remind me of Sacramento because any of them could go off. They're all going to get between 20 and 30 minutes. It's very hard. I will go McConnell. You said Lin or McConnell. I'm going McConnell. It's hard to gauge who's going to be the best play. So that leads me to the DVP. And I like Hollis Jefferson. I like Brook Lopez. Of course, we love to attack the Philadelphia 76ers at the center position. Quincy Acee also comes into play because he's going to be seeing some center minutes and power forward minutes as well. No Trevor Booker for me. And I don't know where to go with the rest of these cats. Maybe some Karis LeVert. Maybe. But we got to watch out for the perimeter defense of Robert Covington. So that's where I would go there. Next game we're talking about is going to be the Miami Heat giving up 3 points on the road in Detroit. It's a 201 point total with the Miami Heat scoring an implied team total of 102 points. Yes, Tommy Evans, AC can be a sneaky play, bro, without a doubt. AC can be a sneaky play. We're looking at Goran Dragic here. The 102 point total tells us again that we can condense our roster builds to the guys we think are going to see the highest amount of usage. And for me, that's 3 cats on this team. That's Goran Dragic. That's Hassan Whiteside. If you want to get exposure to Detroit being one of the weaker teams on the slate at the true center DVP as it applies to giving up those perfect lineup spots, and you don't want to pay up for Hassan Whiteside, give James Johnson some attention. He's a guy that I do like. Now, I'm going to have a ton of Whiteside. I'm probably going to be about 40% Whiteside. But I am going to have some, the lineups that I don't have Whiteside in, they're going to have some James Johnson in them as well. Dude's been playing nuts. He's not 7K anymore. Price down to 6.6. I do not have an issue with rostering him at all. I don't like Josh Richardson. I don't want no Rodney Magruder. Barely going to take a look at Tyler Johnson at 5.8. I'm projecting him at about 29 DraftKings points, which does kind of, meet the value that we're looking for, so I don't have a problem with him at all. On the Detroit side, I'm going to tell you, last night we talked some about Corey Joseph. I think Ish Smith is in a very similar position tonight. Over the last few games, has not been tearing it up. He's not been tearing it up. 32, 9.2, 26.2, and 38.7 over the last 4 games. Playing against my New York Knicks last night was definitely a confidence-building play for him. I think the dude's going to be chalky as fuck. And I would go out of my way to call him good chalk. If you want to play Ish Smith tonight, I have no issue with that. None at all. Tobias Harris is in what looks like a plus matchup at 6K. I think he could have a get-right game against the Miami Heat. No Marcus Morris. No KCP for me. John Lure, sparingly some John Lure. Bino Udrih is still at 3K. Is a Saturday saver punt option if you want to take a shot on that. He scored like 13 points last night. He actually outscored Kyrie Irving with his old snowflake ass last night. So that's the play that you definitely could take a look at. Drummond, this is probably one of the worst teams to play a center against at right now, in my opinion. Especially a guy like Andre Drummond, because we know that the Miami coach is a bitch. And he will do that hacker Drummond shit. He will do that. So you will be in the fourth quarter and you would need Drummond to knock down some free throws to just stay in the game. To get that double-double, that big double-double that you need from him. But the Miami coach is a bitch. He will hack a Drummond and take him completely off of the court for the last 5 minutes. So that's my only trepidation with rostering Andre Drummond. Just know that you're going up against Eric Spoelstra, the bitch-ass coach he would definitely do the hacker Drummond shit. I've seen him do it before. Last game on the slate. And this is on the DraftKings main. We are going to break down the last 2 games that are going to be available for you cats over on FanDuel. Let's go ahead and jump into it, man. This is a 233 point total. Mike Lowry, what's up, big homie? Well, this is a 233 point total with the Golden State Warriors having an implied team total. Andy Williams, I'm sorry, big homie. I don't mean no disrespect to you. I didn't mean to call Spoelstra a bitch-ass coach. But he do the hacker Drummond shit, though. He will hacker Drummond. I'm sorry about that. My bad. I shouldn't have used that terminology. I'm sorry, but it's a family-friendly show. My apologies, my brother. Got much love for you. You know what I'm saying? I know you're down there. All right, so we got Golden State Warriors. The implied team total is 116. Now, the spread in this game is only 1. So we got the Houston Rockets giving up 1 point at home, calling over the Golden State Warriors for dinner. And I'm telling you, man, Curry, bro. Curry is scary to me. A month ago, we didn't want anything to do with this cat. And then he goes out and has a string of fairly decent games, man. I'm talking 48.25, 68 against Sacramento, 42.25. He has a string of solid games, produces really good floors, but I just don't know if I can get there, bro. That's something that we really don't like to do anyways, pay up that much for the point guard positioning, man, and I just don't know if I can get there. If I'm going to pay 9.4 for Steph Curry, I might as well just grab probably one of the best on their roster. The guy that's in the best spot is going to be Draymond Green. As it applies to some of the perfect lineup stuff that we've been talking about, this dude is in a dream matchup. You know what Houston does, giving it up to power forwards, bro. Houston lays down against power forwards. I think Solomon Hill had wrecked him the last time out. I think Ryan Anderson wasn't playing, and we saw Trevor Ariza guarding a little bit at the power forward. They were getting wrecked. So I'm just not sure if I want to rock with Curry without playing. I like Draymond more if I'm going to roster anybody in this game. I do like Draymond. I think, of course, we can look to Klay Thompson. The price is up on him at 7.5K. That's a dude who can get hot and do anything he wants to do on the court. I love him. I'm definitely going to have some of that. I like Andre Iguodala as well because he can come in and play a little bit of those power forward minutes when they go really small. And then you've got Draymond and then you've got Andre Iguodala playing some at the power forward. 5K is the price on him. That's a little bit much to pay for a guy that's going to come off of the bench. But I've got him projected at 23 DraftKings points. That's not bad. We can look at him, definitely. Matt Barnes is a no for me, man. I just can't rock with Matt Barnes. Ever since Matt Barnes did that shit about he's going to kill Sacramento and he didn't do shit, I ain't fucking with him. I can't fuck with her. On the Houston side, you gotta love the spot that James Harden is in. You got to love the spot James Harden is in. 63.2 is what we got him on. 12.3K. I'm not on Trevor Ariza. Now, the fact that he does play a lot of stretch four is going to be, going to help his case. It's going to help his case. But when it comes to rostering cats in this game, I just don't want to have too much high dollar Houston that is not like solid. Like we know, sweet Lou Williams is going to come off of the bench and be fumbling and stumbling and bumbling and knocking down shots. Yo, I just said that. Shout to Kendrick Reed, man. I showed that you watched the show. We know he's going to be stumbling and fumbling and bumbling and knocking down shots. So that leads me to like Lou Williams. And the reason why I really love Lou Williams in this spot is because Eric Gordon is probably going to get the start. So that means Lou is going to be heading up the second team play. That means he's going to be the guy that really controls the pace of the second team. And I like that. Also, Clint Capella is a play that I think we do like. I'm not worried about him jumping into any foul trouble because they don't have a guy that's fairly active in the low post to really, lead him into foul trouble. Plus, if James Harden goes off and dishes out 15 dimes, a lot of those, at least 5 or 6 of them, are going to be going to Clint Capella's way. So I do like him in this spot. Plus, the DVP on it is going to make people not want to roster him as much. So I do like him as well. I think Eric Gordon deserves consideration. He does. Because he's probably going to be matched up with Curry. Because I see Klay Thompson is probably going to be matched up with James Harden. They're probably going to put Eric Gordon. How do they match up in this? How do they match up in this? Because, all right, Patrick McCaw is probably going to be getting the start. He's going to be matched up, I think, against maybe Eric Gordon he's matched up against. And then we see Draymond matched up against Ariza. We see Pachulia matched up against Clint Capella. We see Curry, and it's probably going to be seeing some Pat Beverly. That's probably the way that I think it's going to be. Clay is probably going to be on Harden, though. So we got to pay attention to that as well. Not too much love for the Houston bench, man. I'd rather just stick around the starters and not go too deep off of the bench as far as or after Lou Williams. So that's kind of who I like there. So let's go ahead and now that was the DraftKings breakdown. We talked about some of it and actually highlighted some of the FanDuel plays that we did like and looked at point discrepancies and how if a guy costs more on DraftKings than he does on FanDuel, we would definitely want to take a look at the FanDuel player as well. Let's go ahead and hop into those last 2 games, man, on the slate before we adjourn for the evening. This is going to be the DraftKings late slate. All right, we've got Denver and Portland. How many of you wish that the Denver and Portland game was on the main slate? Come on, DraftKings, baby. I guess they're trying to protect us because, we don't have to worry about the late scratches when it comes to those games that's later. But damn, man. Damn. This is a juicy game, bro. We've got a couple of narratives involved in this game. I am not a huge narrative guy, but I do think that we will see a spirited performance from a couple of the Denver guys, most notably Nikola Jokic, Will Barton, as well as Mason Plumlee. I think we can see a spirited performance from those guys. And these 2 games are a part of the FanDuel main slate, so you don't have to worry about that. If you're a DraftKings guy, you're going to have to wait and roster these guys. Don't tilt. Go ahead and make those lineups now. Don't tilt off of the DraftKings main and then just throw some bullshit because you're mad into this 2 o'clock joint. I mean, into the 10 o'clock joint. Don't do that. Look at it now. Make some lineups now. All right, on the Portland side, you got to look at Dame Lillard. I like CJ McCollum in this spot. I got Lillard about 50. My estimation on him is about 50. 10.3, that's a lot to pay for Dame. But it's in a 2-game late slate. You're going to have to roster some guys somewhere. We got CJ McCollum at 7.2. I like that price there. Yusuf Nurkic is going to want to play well against this team. They traded him to make way for Nikola Jokic. And sometimes these games like this, these narratives, backfire. Because we all think, oh, fuck yeah, Nurkic. He's priced at 7.4. He wants to show them that they shouldn't have got rid of him. Well, sometimes, Jokic was want to show, well, I'm going to show you why they got rid of your ass, bitch, and go out and fucking ball. So do not sleep on Jokic. Noah Vonleh, 4.4, definitely played considerable. Alfred Camino, I like him at 4.5. I think Alan Crabb definitely deserves consideration. These are going to be stacked in games. We're going to just stack the shit out of these games. Hernan Gomez, not too Nah, because everybody's healthy. On the Denver side, everybody is healthy. The only injury concerns we got on the Portland side is going to be guys that have been hurt, like Ed Davis and Festus Ezeli. So we don't have to worry about that. So be very careful in your roster selection when it comes to these games. Paul Hollis said he's going to fade Jokic. Jokic plays better on the road, is what we got from Steven, walking by faith. Dame, 9.4 on FanDuel. That means play him on FanDuel. Fade him on DK, play him on FanDuel. Very simple. Last game on the night is a... I'm sorry, give you a point total. The point total and the spread for that Denver and Portland game is 223 with a 1 point spread. So we got Portland at home giving up 1 point to the Denver Nuggets. Last game on the night is the Washington Wizards rostering one of my favorite point guards in history, the big homie, John motherfucking Wall. Love John Wall. Love to watch him play. They're going to be playing up against the LA Lakers in Staples Center. It's a 9.5 point spread with a 225 point total. Now, John Wall 10.7. When you got John Wall 10.7, Dame at 10.3. If I'm paying 10.3, I would much rather pay for 10.3 for Dame in a game that I think is going to be closer than to pay up for John Wall in a game that's probably going to blow out. So that would kind of lead me to get off of Wall when it comes to the late slate. Now on FanDuel, let's check what's the price on FanDuel for John Wall, because we got to make a decision. Do we want to rock with Wall or Dame? I would much rather go Dame. I think he's priced lower than John Wall on FanDuel. He's at 9.4. Brad Beal 8.1. That's a big price to eat there. Otto Porter at 6.2. I think that is definitely a play we can consider. I do want to take a look at Ian Mahimi at 3.2. That price is very low. We can look to him. 10.5 on FanDuel. No. 10.5, 10.2 on FanDuel. Wall at 10.2. And then we've got Dame at 9.4. Give me Dame. Give me Dame. The game's probably going to be closer. Give me Dame. On the Lakers side, Julius Randle, after a shitty game out last time, think he does bounce back against the Washington Wizards. You can do that. You can target them at the power forward position. I like him at 7K. D'Lo at 6.9. Not a play that I'm particularly down on. I don't have an issue with there. Mo, this is a motherfucking family. I'm sorry. Here's a family-friendly show. I'm sorry. All right, Jordan Clarkson, 6.3. No for me. I do like Larry Nance at 4.2 over on DraftKings for the late night. What's the price on Larry Nance on FanDuel? Somebody give me the price on him on FanDuel. If it's lower than it is on DraftKings, you can give me all of that. I like that. Tyler Ennis got hella run the last time the game got blown out. He's at 3.1K. Don't have a problem if you want to use him on DraftKings. Brandon Ingram is out, of course. So that's probably going to see, David Nwaba in some spots. Cheap. Yes, Nance is on FanDuel cheap. Cool. 4K. So I don't have an issue there. Thank y'all so much for joining me in the sweatshop, man, in the VIP, as well as on Twitter and as on YouTube. Thank y'all so much. Remember some of the things we talked about, bro. Like I'm telling you, I'm trying to unite the sites, all of the smaller indie sites, all of us, that are the common everyday working man that know shit, know sports. I want us to make this shit, YouTube, a place where we can come to and chop up real, honest fantasy shit. I don't want... motherfuckers that make 150 lineups, bro, I want to take them out of the media game. If you out there and you making 150 lineups and you max entering, I want you to shut the fuck up when it comes to who everybody else should play. Because I know you don't care. I know you want to take our money. And that's why I want to unite the sites, man. All of us that are just regular, common, everyday guys that want to make DFS fun and fair for everybody, I don't have a problem with them entering. Actually, max enter all you want, because that's how we're going to get the money in the pot that we can take from you. But just don't tell us who the fuck to play. We don't even want to know who you're playing. We don't even want to hear shit from you. You just make your lineups, sit there, and wait for us in the sweatshop, in the Fantasy Phenom, in the Gundacker's joint, in Vaughn Harris's joint, in Cam ATL's joint, in Perfect Lineups. Wait for Dave Romero. Wait for all of us and all of our crews to take your fucking money. That's how I'm rocking. I want to make this shit fun and fair for everybody. So y'all, and we listen to them cats. We do the larger sites because we want to know who they're putting all of the fish on. We want to know. We want to know. But the whole key to this whole thing, man, is us joining together as one group. Everybody got their own little logos and own little cliques, and I love that. I think a lot of what happened was set the gun set a lot of the foundation down for us to do all of this. I just picked it up and ran with it, and with the help of y'all, man, this shit is crazy. It's crazy. So they want to take our money when it comes to subscriptions, charging us top dollar to use their tools, that they create the fucking tools, but the dude in the sweatshop made up his own tool by himself by back testing the perfect lineup. Like, we don't have to pay them motherfuckers all that shit and do all of that, and then give them our money when it comes to tournaments and listen to the shit that they have to tell us. So let's take our bread back, all of us. Let's unite and fight to take our bread back. Thank y'all so much. I love y'all. Let's go ahead, go out, have a very profitable Tuesday night. Keep the week rolling on strong. And remember, when you're in the sweatshop, no matter where you at, if you're in the DFS world and you're a regular cat just like me, keep it motherfucking 300. Great show, big fam. Thank you.